Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. The blackest heart, the blackest mind, the blackest man on social media, signing black in and shining again, asking you to hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. I've been silent about Rayshard Brooks' scenario because I don't think that Rolf should have shot him. Certainly not the way he did. It wasn't right. However, I would have done no better. See, I got a temper problem, and I would have shot Rayshard Brooks as soon as I was supposed to arrest him in accordance with my job. Because if someone fails a blood alcohol test or a sobriety test and they're operating a vehicle and you let them go, you're in trouble for that. So as soon as doing my job was met with resistance, like a stiff arm when I say, put these cuffs on, or I got to cuff you up. You know what? That first thing I would have done is I would have gone for my holster, unsnapped the weapon, put it to his brains, and say to him, now you're going to put these cuffs on yourself behind your back, and the minute you make one other move, I'm going to blow your goddamn brains out. Your first childhood memory is going to be on the bumper of that car, and your second childhood memory is going to be across the state line in Alabama. Because I'm that nigga. See, I never hurt people for no reason. I've never done it. When I become convinced that someone deserves to be hurt and it's dangerous not to hurt them, I'm not capable of feeling remorse to them no matter what I do. If I beat someone's head in with a bat and his kids are sitting there crying and traumatized, I'm not capable of feeling bad that I did that. So I avoided law enforcement jobs a long time ago when I was broke and I needed a job and those jobs were available because I figured that it's not worth some redneck's life for me to go to jail for the rest of my life. And you got to start off answering patrol calls, which means domestic dispute calls, which means you got to deal with drunk arguing shines and drunk arguing rednecks. No, that's not going to be the majority of my career, and my promotion is based on how well I handle that. That's not something you can handle. You show up, you got to ask questions. You ask questions and they interrupt you. How are you supposed to handle that? Thump, pistol whip them. Now, let me finish my question, then you can talk and finish your answer. But dealing with the general public is a bad job for anybody because the majority of people are just entirely too stupid. They're just not smart enough for whatever they're doing and for what they have. Black delivery drivers now are getting blocked into neighborhoods and blocked out of neighborhoods, spat on and things like this. So, at the end of it all, at what point are we allowed to carry guns and white folks on? Because that's what it's going to take for black folks to be safe. Rolf should not have shot Rayshard, but if I'd been Rolf, Rayshard would have been dead from the time he struggled. He wouldn't have had a chance to get up and run. He would have been already dead. The difference between me and Rolf is that Rayshard Brooks would have been dead if he was black or white, and he resisted arrest. With Rolf, I know that if Rayshard Brooks was white, he would have survived that. Even if he had done all the same things, he would have survived that. This is why we're upset, and I don't side with white cops over black people. I simply don't, because in a nutshell, if I don't know a situation firsthand and there's doubt, I just assume that the white cop's not going to do certain things to white people, so they better not do it to someone black. And that's why America's going through what it's going through. And yes, bad people take advantage of whatever situation is there. So yes, bad Negroes are going to take advantage of the situation if cops are less authorized to use force and things are tightened down on them. Then it's going to be some real jigaboo shines and some idiots that are going to act up and act a fool because, hey, they can get away with it. See, as a teacher, I learned this already. If you are allowed to use corporal punishment, the poor, the black, the Latino, those kids, the ones with mental disabilities, are going to get hit more. But if you're not allowed to use it, the worst kids behaviorally of any origin are going to act up because they can. Now you need those powers back to get the situation under control, but you can't have them, because when those powers are allowed, then it's going to be simply the most politically vulnerable kids that get hit the most. And that's not okay. America cannot be fair, and black people cannot tolerate the injustice anymore. Even many young whites today, and even old whites now, cannot continue with this, and they can't tolerate it anymore, but they also cannot unprogram themselves 100%. And they know it, and they lament that. They're the ones that are writing apologies and confessions at this point, saying, I'm part of the problem, I'm trying not to be, I was trained this way. It's that deep. But unfortunately, what this means is that it is a no-win and a lose-lose scenario for America, black and white. Doesn't matter which way you go, both ways are wrong. You're at a fork in the road, and both of them are going to lead to death. Deaths of innocence. And long lives of the guilty, and even prosperity for the guilty. Both roads will lead to that. There's no way to get around this. So black people, you must understand that now, with law enforcement already infiltrated by white supremacists nationwide, and the FBI knows about this, you now need to take certain steps for your safety. Go in groups, male and female, learn the weapons laws and own the weapons you can legally own. Learn how to operate those weapons safely as well. And then additionally, one more thing you need to do. Train in some hand-to-hand combat self-defense moves as well. Because you need to understand that you are targets. And police officers that are also white supremacists who infiltrated the police departments are going to grab up black folks they can catch by themselves and lynch them to terrorize the rest of us. To send messages. So I think that your best bet is what I just said. Because frankly, if they allow police departments the authority to really make the streets safe, then they're just going to make the streets white. And if you don't allow them this, then the worst shines and the worst rednecks are going to come out and just act a damn fool even in the faces of the cops. There's just no way to win. Sorry. It just isn't there. Unless, of course, you are armed to the point where you're simply not an easy target. And you're in numbers to where you're not an easy target. And if you're in hand-to-hand combat, you're not an easy target. You simply are just going to have to work on making yourselves a difficult target. End of story. And don't be caught alone. I hope that this is a benefit, and I hope one day this will be unnecessary, this recording of mine. Thank you for listening. Black heart, black mind, blackout. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, and of course, black heterosexual male power specifically because they don't like it.